Hello everyone. Today I would like to read out the 13th chapter titled The Work Life from my manuscript The Imprisonment. This is a fictional story created for awareness and storytelling. It does not promote or justify any form of crime or harmful activity. Viewer discretion is advised. I'd like to read out the story. Archana reached the prison early that day, hoping to spend more time with Anamika. Samir was reading a book while Anamika sat quietly watching the sunlight enter through the small ventilation opening. For the first time, Archana gathered the courage to look at Samir, not out of fear but with intent. But within seconds, she turned away and focused on Anamika. Anamika asked, "Which part of my life would you like to capture in your story?" Archana replied, "The phase that led you to influence such decisions." Anamika nodded. "For that, we need to go back to the beginning of my work life. It wasn't one incident, but a series of events. After graduation, I started applying for jobs even before my exams ended. Finally, I got an opportunity to work as an assistant to a psychologist. The job required me to move to Nagpur. My parents supported my decision and I accepted the offer. It was a new city and a new beginning. I found a small home with a psychologist's help. I was alone but happy. In my neighborhood, there was a family, a husband, a wife, and their 6-year-old son. I won't reveal their names. The parents were always fighting. The child spent most of his time in the balcony, often staring at the sky. Every evening, I saw him sitting quietly eating junk food while his parents argued inside. He looked lost. One day he looked at me. I smiled. He quickly looked away. I often wondered, why bring a child into the world if you cannot care for that child? Why give life if you cannot protect it? Later, I became friendly with him. As a psychologist, I tried to understand his mindset. He had become emotionally rigid, shaped by constant conflict. At that moment, Samir looked up from his book. "Some children like him end up here," he said calmly, "in prison, like me." Anamika asked, "So your parents were like that?" Samir replied, "No, my reasons were different." He paused, then added, "But no one seemed interested in my story." Archana ignored him and signaled Anamika to continue. The guard stepped in, maintaining distance between the two prisoners. Archana asked, "Were you able to help that family?" Anamika shook her head. "They didn't want help, and when people don't want to change, even a psychologist becomes helpless. I worked hard and eventually started my own practice with the psychologist's support. She referred many clients to me, mostly women and children. These cases changed my thinking. I began to believe that parenting is a responsibility, not something to be taken lightly. If someone is not prepared, they should not take it up. One day I met a couple. They were loving but financially unstable. They came to me for another case, but I became more interested in their situation. I didn't handle it professionally. I spoke to them like a friend. That was the first time I influenced a decision like this. I didn't directly suggest it, but I hinted that they should not continue the pregnancy. They eventually decided to terminate it." She paused. "That was the first time I influenced a life before it began. And I still believe I did the right thing. Perhaps they would have become like the parent I had seen in my neighborhood, the ones who couldn't give their child a peaceful life." Archana reacted sharply. "Unbelievable. That's cruel. How could you do that? You claim to love children." She closed her notebook. "I'm done for the day. I'm not sure if I want to continue your story." As she returned to leave, Samir spoke calmly. "Anamika, you did the right thing. Otherwise, the child might have ended up here, like me." He smiled faintly and closed his book. Archana walked out of the prison. The noise of the outside world faded. A strange numbness settled within her. She had recently shifted to a guest house nearby, but now she only wanted one thing: to meet her brother, to find some peace from the storm this story had created within her. As she was returning to her accommodation, Darshan called her. He was on his way back to the city, ready to resume work on the Shanti Ghar project. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about this chapter by writing in the comment section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.